Alright, I want you to take your time to get your date and your page number and your title and your learning target, and make sure you get all these things in your table of contents. Once you've got that information down, go ahead and write down, or we're going to look at example 1. This is combining two things that you've done before. The first thing is graphing this linear equation, so y equals mx plus b. The second thing that you're doing is combining what you know about these symbols with that. So let's just start with the original, the y equals mx plus b. And we're going to act like this is an equal sign for now and remind ourselves how to graph that. Well, if I was to graph this, I have to start with my b begin, my y-intercept, and that would be my first point. The next step is to move your slope. I would go up 3, right 4, up 1, 2, 3, to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I would do it again. Up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could even go the other way. Down 1, 2, 3, to the left 1, 2, 3, 4. And that would make a straight line between them, and draw my arrows at the end of my straight line. And that's this equation. So now we're going to go back and we're going to revisit what this means and how that's going to apply to this. Okay, so the first question you should have answered is that this would have been a closed circle. If I was going to do a number line, I would have to put a closed circle because of this or equal to part. Then you should have answered that this would have been shaded to the right because y is bigger, so I would shade everything that's bigger than y. So using that same concept, this is going to be a solid line because it's equal to. If it didn't have equal to, my line would have dashes in it to show that it's not actually equal to what's sitting on the line. Also, y is bigger. So if y is bigger, that means not only is everything on the line a solution to this equation, but everything above the line, because that's where my y values are bigger. So everything up here is also a solution. So you're going to shade that to show that everything up here is a solution to this inequality. So we're going to try another example. So again, with this example, we're talking very similar to the last one. I'm going to start graphing it like I normally would. My y equals mx plus b. My starting point is up here at positive 1, and my slope is negative 2. So from here, I go down to right 1, down to right 1, down to right 1, and continue that and make my straight line. Okay, so now we're going to talk about what this symbol means. You should have answered that it would be an open circle. So if it's an open circle, now my line is just going to be dashed to show that it's not actually equal to anything on that line instead of a solid line here. Like none of these ordered pairs that are on this line are actual solutions to this equation because it's not actually equal to that, it's just whatever's bigger than that. So then I'm going to do my shading. You should have answered that y is bigger. So if y is bigger, I'm going to shade everything above that. So I'm going to look at my y-intercept and go above this line. So everything that's on this side of my equation, see it's above the y-intercept, above the y, bigger than y. Everything that's on this side of the line is a solution, not including the line this time because it didn't have the or equal to. Now we're going to apply this to a system of equations, which is what we've been working on this whole unit. Remember, that just means more than one equation at a time. So now I've got more than one inequality at a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start with the first one. So the first one I'm going to graph is going to be pink. And my starting point is at negative 1. and my slope is 1/2. And this was a solid line because of the or equal to part. And then it says y is smaller, so I'm going to take my y-intercept and shade everything below that. When you shade here, make sure you shade lightly or wait until the end on the shading part, because I'm going to show you what we do when there's 2 of them. And then I'm going to go back graphing my other equation. Let's make that a different color. Let's just do purple. My starting point would be at 1. My slope is -2/3. And just like the last one, this is a dashed line because it doesn't have the or equal to part. And it says y is bigger than that, so I'm going to shade everything above it. So that would be above the y-intercept of this purple line. So it would look like that. So now that I have this done, let's talk about the answers to a system of equations. Whenever I graph a system of equations, the answer is the point where they cross. So in this case, whenever I graph a system of linear inequalities, it's the point, the shaded part that they share, where all the solutions fall. So that means all of this stuff right here is not an actual solution. So my final answer would look like this. And my solutions would just be what's on this solid pink line from here to here, all the way up here through infinity, and above this dashed line, not actually on it. So that'd be the solution to the system.